want to get back out to the Seminole County Courthouse right now because we understand that Turner Clayton from the NAACP is standing by. Turner, good to see you again. I understand that there was a good presence of folks from the NAACP there in the courtroom today. Were you among the people inside the courtroom?
Yes, it was.
Tell us about that. What was it like being inside the courtroom?
Well, it was a good experience to actually hear exactly what's taking place firsthand.
You know, from somebody who's been inside the courtroom, the demeanor you see there is often different than from what we see on TV. Take us through your thoughts on the trial so far, what you're seeing and what you're experiencing there.
Well, so far there have been some delays in the trial itself. As a matter of fact, the hearing this morning was in reference to the delay that took place on yesterday about some of the incident reports that the state is trying to talk about during the trial itself. Now, the defense attorney had accepted this evidence as part of the trial process, but then objected to it on yesterday when it was brought up. So that particular hearing took place this morning, and then of course, after that, they decided they would go into the trial.
Turner, how important do you believe those phone calls are, those previous phone calls that George Zimmerman has made to the police department over the years to what happened with Trayvon Martin and to this trial?
Well, I think those calls are very important to the trial itself because it tends to kind of build the mindset as to what Zimmerman was like. And of course, if you listen to those particular calls, then each time you can kind of sense some type of frustration in the calls itself.
Turner, we know you had a big meeting last night discussing some of the community issues. What happened at the meeting? What was discussed?
Well, we discussed the trial as it took place starting on Monday, and then, of course, we also discussed the selection of the jury process. And, of course, one of the questions that we're always asked, how do we feel about the jury that's been selected? Well, we would prefer to have a more diverse jury, but since we don't have that, we have to go with what we have. And, of course, I'm sure that the potential jurors that we do have, we hope they can reach a fair and just impartial verdict without putting their personal feelings into it.
What do you think about the all-female jury? I think a lot of people were surprised just that it was going to be a panel of women only. Did that have an impression on you at all?
No, I understand this is probably the first time in the history of the state of Florida that this has happened, but no, it's not a surprise to me at all.
The new Sanford police chief has been doing a lot of door-to-door meetings with people there, and I mean, it all came to light after the death of Trayvon Martin. What are your thoughts about the city of Sanford and the way they're at least trying to move forward with race relations? Are you seeing a difference?
Well, there really haven't been any improvements thus far. There's been a lot of talk about things that are on the board that will be considered. And, of course, the chief, he's doing a pretty good job in getting out in the community, trying to meet the community so they can get to know him and try to build trust back into this department. But that's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Well, you said you haven't seen any improvements yet. What would you like to see happen immediately to start improving the relations?
Well, the reason I said no improvements yet, because as president of the NAACP, I continue to receive calls from individuals who are telling us that, hey, you need to let this go, meaning that we need to drop our issues or concerns about the trial and just kind of sit back and not do anything about it. So until those calls stop and we know how the community actually feel about it, then I say no improvements have taken place.
All right, Turner Clayton from the Seminole County Courthouse for us this morning. We appreciate your time, sir. Thanks for being with us.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll have much more. We'll check in with Holly Bristow out at the Seminole County Courthouse as well.